Okay, it would appear that I'm live again. Okay, welcome back everyone to Revelations from Raising Myself. These are just quick videos that I'm recording, live streams, where I'm just talking about little things that I've realized in my life journey that have helped me. Epiphanies, aha moments, learning moments, realizations, all of these things that basically contributed to getting me to where I am now. And tonight I want to talk about a talk that I went to with Jim Rowan many years ago here in Perth. And it was a very interesting one because I'd been following Jim for many years and went to this talk. And with the group that I went with, I was one of the few people who actually knew who he was and his history and everything like that. And he spoke about many things that resonated with me. And some of the things they took a little longer to sort of hit home because I didn't really want to acknowledge them because facing the truth sometimes is downright hard. Being able to confront your darker places, your faults, your places where you're not as effective as you'd like to be, uh, confronting those situations, those behaviors, those habits can be pretty difficult sometimes. And this particular one that Jim spoke about was one where I'd sort of always accused other people of this until I finally went, you know what? I do this as well. And it's the victim mentality where you sit there and you blame everyone else for what's going on. And the way that Jim explained it was he said, what would happen if suddenly your family was supportive, your employer paid you more, acknowledged your worth, your neighbors were more attentive and friendly, your friends became more sociable and contacted you more, how much would that actually change you as a person? And he said, not very much, wouldn't change much. However, if you move from having a victim mentality to what he called a victor mentality, it changes everything. Now, I didn't really want to acknowledge this because I didn't want to acknowledge that I was a victim. And he said, or I came across a saying around the same time, which again, it was one of those things that was difficult to acknowledge. I didn't want to admit it. And the saying is this: when you're blaming someone and pointing the finger at them, like you did this, you made this, you did blah, 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 there's three fingers pointing back at you. In other words, own your stuff, own what you contributed to that situation. And for me and what I'd been through in my life, it was easy to blame other people. It was easy to say, oh, it's because of them that I'm struggling with this. It's because of them that I've got this situation. And then one day I had my revelation, my epiphany, my aha moment where it all changed. And it was this: if I acknowledge that I contributed to all of this. So I'm not taking the blame for anything. I'm just acknowledging the part that I played in it. So going through and picking out the parts where I contributed, I said certain things or didn't say certain things, I did certain things and didn't do certain things. Once I could acknowledge all of these things that I contributed to creating the result in my past, once I did that, I could control what's happening in the future because I'm willing to take responsibility. So if I owned what I did in the past, I could then take that into the future and go, you know what? I make the choice in this. I'm going to make a better choice. I'm going to make a more informed choice. I'm going to make a choice that's more effective. I'm going to use tools that work. So I'm going to stop blaming. I'm going to own things. So I went and looked at my first marriage. I went and looked at my second marriage. I looked at my friendships. I looked at all of the things in my life where I had been putting responsibility onto other people. And I've also realized with that victim mentality, if you're always blaming other people, you're giving them control of you. And that's exactly what I used to do. I used to give my control of my emotions, my decisions, my outcomes, everything to everyone else. I didn't acknowledge any of it. Once I acknowledged my past, I went, cool, I can now control all of this. I dictate it. I'm in control of my emotions, my mindset, my attitudes, my behaviors, my habits. I control all of it. Now, the wonderful thing about moving from the victim mentality that Jim spoke of to a victor mentality is it actually made my friendships better, my intimate relationship better, made interactions with other people easier because now I was in control. And when you're in control, you have the power. You have the ability to sculpt and shape and craft your future instead of being at the whim of someone else because you decide to go, you have control of my life. So for me, it was one of those, I've had enough of being like that. And it was hard to acknowledge that I had a victim mentality, that I was blaming other people, that I was giving them control of my life. And when I had that epiphany, that aha moment, it's amazing how much that snapped in my brain. I mean, it took me ages resisting it and pushing it away and not wanting to say, yes, that's true. But when I did acknowledge that I was being a victim and giving control and responsibility to everyone else and leaving nothing for me, then I could take that control for my future. And it enabled me to step into my power. I became a better parent. I became a better person. I became a better, just an all-round better human being as far as I could tell. So it was definitely one of those things where I wanted to become that better version of me, and I had to do that by acknowledging that I was now a victor, not a victim. So my epiphany, the lesson I'd like to pass on to you, is if you really want to have the future, the life that you really want, you have to first acknowledge that you've got a victim mentality. And once you acknowledge that, then it's I can change it and create my life the way I want. And the beautiful thing is, once you're creating your life the way you want, it's literally open to whatever you want it to be. So my relationships in the past were very patchy at best and weren't working for me. Now, absolutely amazing. It's gone above and beyond what I want. All my friendships, my attitude, control of my emotions, everything improved once I stopped being a victim and moved to being a victor. So thank you, Jim. It was a hell of a lesson to learn. I'm glad I finally got it, even though I resisted for ages. I hope that you also take on that epiphany and you craft the life that you want, the relationships that you want, the finances, the emotional control, the health. Once you become a victor instead of a victim, then you truly can create something amazing with your life. Anyway, that's it for today. I just wanted to quickly talk about that. All of these videos are only ever going to be under the 10-minute mark. Occasionally they might go over, but generally I'll keep them below 10 because we're busy. I don't want to chew up heaps of your time. Just want to give you some nuggets that you can use and take them away and use them in your life to get the results that you want. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, chuck a comment below. If you've got any feedback, if you've got any questions, anything like that, feel free. I may not answer while the live stream's on, but I will certainly answer your comments and questions once the live stream has finished. Okay, look after yourselves, take care, and I shall catch you in a fortnight for the next one. All right, take care, folks. Bye.